Hi, my name is Dan Selyak. I am a local photographer, urbanist, and I run a little project called Another Glass Box, which is about civic engagement, getting involved with your city. Part of this project involves trying to walk every street in Toronto. I've walked about 6% of the city now. It's been a lovely experience. And in that time, I've seen what neighborhood retail brings to communities. I've seen the way that people engage with these spaces, these small shops, the ways that they act as community hubs, third spaces, the ways that it gets people out of their homes and into their neighborhoods, places where parents can drop by with their kids after day school, just the kind of fabric that it creates within neighborhoods. And I haven't seen a lot of these negative externalities that people talk about in ways that can't be managed and in ways that can't be sorted through. And this time I came across a little store called Finch Store. It was in the news, you might remember it, because an anonymous neighbor complained about the fact that they installed an espresso machine and that threatened to have the store shut down. I successfully ran a petition to defer that decision and to also encourage the city to consider this proposal of expanding retail into neighborhoods. As of today, we have about 3,000 signatures on that petition and counting. When I submitted the petition yesterday to this committee for consideration, we had 2,600. People are very passionate about this. People are very excited by the prospect of allowing what we all know is a very beneficial amenity within neighborhoods again. And they are ready and eager to make their voices heard and known. The city's own survey on this had something like 72% of people in favor. So despite some of the voices you're going to hear today, there is broad support. And while I appreciate that you need to make considerations based on geography and based on the specifics of certain neighborhoods, I think that the committee should keep in mind that there is, in fact, people asking for this, people knowing that it is already good and wanting more. In fact, they wanted so much more that I recently did a James Walk in support of neighborhood retail in Seton Village. And I held it again just last weekend. Through these walks, we had about 200 people participate in the tours to learn about what this type of retail typology can do for their neighborhood, what it can do to, again, make things richer and more desirable. Seton Village in the Annex is not an undesirable place to live. If you look at the property values, if you look at the way that people like to live there, if you look at the walk scores, it's a very desirable, quiet, and well-kept area. The chaos that we are hearing described does not actually manifest. I also want to point out that these neighborhood retailers need to be good neighbors. These places rely on foot traffic, they rely on repeat customers, and customers in the past are able to, and now, can vote with their feet. If someone is not behaving properly, if there's something that's a better service on a main street nearby, just go to that instead. When we talk about the idea that this opens up the possibility of someone opening their store in an undesirable place, what is the incentive for a business owner to risk their livelihood opening up on a quiet street where no one's going to see their shop, where they can't be reached? We have to understand that the shop owners themselves are rational actors. They want to entice customers. They want to be embedded in community. They want to participate in society. They are not, coming in here to extract value from their neighbors. They are your neighbors. And that is the benefit of one of these neighborhood shops versus maybe a large chain or something else, is they are participating in community. And quite frankly, if they misbehave, you can punish them by simply just not going and letting them go out of business. Small independent mom and pop retailers operate on razor thin margins. They are not going to go out of their way to make their neighbors upset. All of that said, we know that this works. We've seen it work in Old Toronto. We've seen it work all over the world. I do think that there is a reason to kind of maybe tailor to certain neighborhoods. We're hearing that now and then. But I think generally, if the committee can stay focused on the intent and purpose of this, as well as the mass public support for it, we'll have a good result. Thank you.